welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome, Trojans. It is great to see all of you here. I am excited to share with you that on Tuesday, March 23rd, the Milwaukee School Board approved a plan to reopen our school. We are excited to have you back and wanted to spend some time talking with you about the reopening plan and what we need you to do to have a safe and productive end to our school year. First, it's important to know that although the board approved a plan for reopening, it is a choice to return to in-person learning or remain virtual for the rest of this year. A survey was sent by both email and text. So please, if you have not done so yet, take the opportunity to complete the survey as soon as possible. I do have to add that based upon the board's decision, not every student is eligible to return to in-person learning. Those who are eligible are any 12th grade student, any student who qualifies for special education services, and any student who had one or more failing marks on their snapshot report card. We now have a clear timeline of return. On April 12th and 13th, this is the Monday and Tuesday after spring break, we will have no synchronous instruction. Teachers will have assignments set up for you in their Google Classrooms or have you work on previously unsubmitted assignments as a chance to boost your grade. This will give our staff a chance to set up their rooms and learn more about what the reopening looks like. Beginning on Wednesday, April 14th, we will continue with our virtual schedule. That will maintain until Monday, April 26th, which is the official date of our reopening. That is the day when students can return to school for in-person learning. The 26th is also the day that we will operate in our full 7-period day schedule. This means that for all learners, either in person or virtual, you will have 7 52-minute classes per day beginning at 8:05 and ending at 3:20. This 7-period day schedule will run on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays until our exam week. Wednesdays will remain the same virtual learning day that you participate in now. There will be no in-person learning scheduled on Wednesdays. This will be an opportunity for you to get extra help during office hours in a virtual format. As we prepare for in-person learning, we want to do so in a healthy and safe way. Our reopening plan will follow all health and safety recommendations of the Milwaukee Health Department. As a result, there will be several new procedures and expectations for students that you need to be aware of prior to returning. The first of these is that all staff and students will be expected to wear face coverings while inside the building. There will be exceptions made during the lunch hour when students are eating and drinking. We are asking that all students bring a face mask with them daily. If you do lose your mask or need a new one, we will have some available here at the school. Please remember when wearing your face covering, it should completely cover both your mouth and your nose.
I'm kidding. Greetings, Bill Nye here with more on masks. Here's a map of the United States. The red ink shows where people are wearing masks. The black ink shows where people are getting sick with coronavirus. I hope you can see the fewer the masks, the more the sick. And there's a perception that a virus can travel through the fibers of a mask like this red dot. Because viruses don't travel by themselves. No, they travel in droplets of spit and snot. And the fibers are a tangle. So when the droplet gets into the fibers of a mask, it gets trapped. This is not that hard to understand, everybody. That's why we have rules about wearing a mask. Now you know about rules. You pay taxes on the whole road, but you only get to drive on one side at a time. Otherwise, so everyone, please wear a mask. Thank you. Oh, you can hear me fine, right through the mask. Greetings, everyone. Bill Nye here. Why do people in the scientific community want you to wear a face mask when you're out in public? Well, please consider the following. Face masks, like this one, prevent particles from my respiratory system from getting into the air and then into your respiratory system. Blocking the movement of air is an old trick. Here's a scarf. It blocks the movement of air around my throat. Helps keep me warm. This scarf won awards in the Washington State Fair for both design and workmanship. It can block the movement of air, but only to a certain extent. This is a homemade face mask. It has just 2 layers of cloth with a pipe cleaner sewn in to help it fit against the bridge of your nose. And it blocks the movement of air very effectively. If you're wearing one of these, you're protecting yourself and those around you. Here's an N95. These are made to block particles in the medical environment and when you're out mowing the lawn. This one's not sterilized, but it's pretty effective. So the reason we want you to wear a mask is to protect you, sure. But the main reason we want you to wear a mask is to protect me from you and the particles from your respiratory system from getting into my respiratory system. Everybody, this is a matter literally of life and death. And when I use the word literally, I mean literally. A matter of life and death. So when you're out in public, please wear a mask. Thank you for joining me on Consider the Following.
In addition to face masks, we will have face shields, gloves, and portable plexiglass barriers for student use as well. These items are available, however, their use is not required. The second health procedure that everyone is familiar with is physical distancing. While inside the building, staff and students will be expected to remain 6 feet apart. In order to assist with this expectation, we have taken the following precautions. The first is class sizes will be limited to ensure that the proper physical distancing is maintained. Desks and chairs are marked so that appropriate seating arrangements are also maintained. In addition, while restrooms will be open, there will be a limit of 2 students in the restroom at any one time. We have placed floor markers on the ground in high traffic areas like the main office and the lunch line to serve as a reminder of this 6-foot distancing requirement. We have also developed new traffic patterns during transition times. These include identified staircases for one-way use to minimize any crowding. When going upstairs, students will use the exit 1 staircase. And when going downstairs, students will be expected to use the exit 5 staircases. In an effort to minimize transition times, we will not be utilizing our lockers between classes. Students are encouraged not to bring any personal items from home. This includes your Chromebook. Students are able to bring pencils and pens and notebooks so long as these items are not shared with others. A lot of the health recommendations are focused on limiting contact with other individuals. As part of these, there have been some changes in our procedures to minimize external contact. The first is that until further notice, we will not be having any in-person assemblies or field trips. Secondly, only MPS staff and students will be permitted to enter the building. This means that guests and family members will not be allowed to enter the school. If a parent needs support from the school, we ask that you contact us by phone. And if you are picking a child up from school, we would conduct that transaction outside of the main entrance. We do apologize in advance for any inconveniences this may cause. Many of you have reached out with questions regarding transportation. Please know that our MPS Transportation Department is working very hard to update bus rosters, and a postcard with route information will be sent to your homes prior to the April 26th reopening date. While on the bus, students will be expected to physically distance and wear a face covering. Buses will begin to drop off students at 7:30 a.m. We will unload the buses 1 bus at a time to ensure that we are able to maintain proper physical distancing. Students will enter the building through the gym doors through 2 separate entrances. Upon entry, students will participate in our daily scan while maintaining proper physical distancing. One of these lines will be dedicated to students with bags or backpacks. In order to speed this process up and minimize any opportunity of crowding, we will not be collecting student cell phones. Students are expected to follow the MPS Code of Conduct as it relates to cellular devices while in the school building. Students will then collect their breakfast in a grab-and-go format and proceed to dedicated spaces where they can properly physically distance until the start of the school day. There are a few final pieces I just wanted to share with you about reopening to provide you a peace of mind regarding the health and safety of all of our students and staff. Our engineering staff will adopt a more frequent cleaning schedule for all of our common areas. Staff will also have access to additional cleaning supplies. We encourage students to wash their hands frequently, and hand sanitizer will be available in all of our classrooms. Air filtration systems will also be in each of the shared classroom spaces. Now, this is important. If you are feeling sick, please stay home. If you arrive to school and symptoms begin to appear, we will have you checked out by the school nurse. If a student is symptomatic, they will be expected to wait in our isolation room located on our first floor. This will minimize any contact a sick individual may have with others. If the student is ill, we will be contacting families and arrange for transportation back home. Now, along with the reopening schools, we will also be offering spring sports. This includes softball and baseball, soccer, track and field, golf, and tennis. If you are interested in playing any of these spring sports, please go to the Bradley Tech webpage and complete the application. Now, I know that this is a lot of information and a lot to take in all at once. But please know we are really excited to have you back. But the only way this works is if we stay healthy and safe so that we can work hard and get smart.
Welcome back, welcome back.